Hey YouTube fam, I'm Nicole Wild. If we haven't had the chance to practice together yet, thank you so much for being here. As always, it means a lot. Many of you have been asking for a 30-day challenge. I've gotten that comment and request lots and lots of times. If you haven't heard, I am launching a membership site April 1st, and I'm gonna start the first month off, so the month of April, with a challenge, 30 days of yoga uploads. If you wanna learn more about it, you can check out the link below, thecollectivekula.com. You can join for a month, you can join on a monthly basis continually, or you can join for a year and get a bit of a discount and some discounts towards future offerings like yoga retreats and a teacher training. So all the details are going to be on the website below. I won't take too much of our time here to talk about it, but I want you to know about it because it's something I've been pouring my heart into. I'm incredibly excited about it, and a 30-day yoga challenge seems like a great way to kick it off. So we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and get started with another 30-minute flow. This one's going to be sweaty, fun, playful, per the usual. It'll definitely be a challenging, almost more of a fitness-based sequence today. So we're actually going to start standing at the top of our mats, jumping right into the sequence today, or into the movement, that is. I'll still warm us up a bit. Feet hip-width distance apart. Let's bring arms up overhead, palms to touch, engage the glutes. Start with a little baby back bend, a teeny tiny back bend, only as far as feels supported in the low back. Just an opportunity to open up the heart, create some space in the front line of the body. And then releasing the back bend, bring palms to touch at the heart, lift the right knee up into the chest and roll out the right ankle. Switch direction of the circles. And then cross the right ankle over top of the left knee as you send the hips back and the heart forward. Reach the fingertips out long in front of you and imagine someone was standing at the front of the mat pulling on your hands. So you're lengthening out through the upper body and you're equally pulling the hips towards the back of the room. On your exhale here, we're gonna drop the right foot all the way to the floor, crossing right ankle over the left. And let the upper body just waterfall forward. Crown of the head reaches towards the floor. Clasp opposite elbows. Find a bit of a sway here from side to side. Might test your balance a bit. And then finding your way back through center. Shift your weight into the right foot. So we're swapping our standing leg. Sweep the left toes high, standing split. And then bend the knee and open up the hip. So think of pointing left knee up towards the ceiling. You can stay here or you can reach the right hand to hold on to the left toes, getting a little bit deeper into the quads, the front of the left hip. If you want to get real crazy right off the bat here, you could bring the left hand to the right ankle, finding stability underneath the right foot. And then on your exhale, fold forward, drop, you are folded forward, stay folded forward, step the left foot to the top of the mat. So we're coming all the way back to our forward fold. Hands interlace at the base of the skull. Pull the chin in towards the chest. Pull the elbows in towards each other. So we're getting some length down the back of the neck, and really all the way down the back body, even into the heels. Keep the hands to interlace. We're going to slow roll up the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Keep pulling the chin in towards the chest. So head and neck are last to lift. Once you're up, peel the elbows apart and down. Heart opens up towards ceiling. Glutes engage. We're back in this little back bend shape, but take it easy. On your inhale, come back up through center. Palms to touch at the heart. Shift your weight into the right foot. Left knee comes up into the chest. Start by rolling out the left ankle. Just circles with the left ankle, and then switch direction. And then bending into the right knee. Left ankle stacks on top of the right knee, right thigh. Fingertips reach forward towards the front of the room. So imagine again that someone is pulling your hips back and your fingertips forward. So you're getting a lot of length down the back body, length in the spine. One more cycle of breath here. Maybe you bend even a little deeper into the standing leg. Take an inhale. On your exhale, left foot all the way to the floor, but keep the left ankle crossed over the right and let the upper body fold forward. Little bend in the right knee. We want to make sure that in this practice we are never locking out the knee joint. Maybe you clasp opposite elbows here. A little bit of a sway from side to side even, if that feels good. Just warming up into the body before we pick up our pace. Come back through neutral. Release the hands down, shift your weight into the left foot, right toes sweep high. So we're finding a standing split shape, but then bend into the right knee and peel the right hip open, like you're trying to point the right knee up towards the ceiling. You can hang out here, or you could bring left hand to the right toes, right foot, wherever it lands. If you get the clasp on the foot, a bit of a kick into the hand to keep lengthening out through the right quads, the front of the right hip. And you can either stay here, or right hand could come to the left ankle. Apparently not for me today. Oh, there we go. All right, on your exhale, feet to the top of the mat, come back to your forward fold, feet hip-width distance apart. Bend into both knees, and on your inhale, we're coming up for bear pose. Sending the hips back, sending the heart forward, slight tuck of the tailbone. Core is super strong. If this is too much for the low back, bring arms back to airplane wings. Let's shift our weight into the toes so that the heels lift. And on your exhale, we're gonna drop the hips all the way to the heels. Then we're gonna drop the heels down. Then we're gonna drop the hips down. Then we're gonna come all the way to a low boat, heels and heart to a hover above the floor. Starting to build some heat pretty quickly here. On your inhale, come up Navasana, knees into the chest, spine is tall, toes pull back towards body, reach arms up overhead. And then with or without using the hands, plant the feet hip distance, hip width distance, lift the hips, come onto the toes. And then drop the heels as you send the hips back, heart forward, bear pose. We're gonna do that a couple more times. Shift your weight to the toes, heels lift. Drop the hips to the heels. Soften the heels down, soften the hips down, come all the way down, low boat. Heels and heart to a hover above the mat. Inhale to come up Navasana, thighs in towards the chest. Arms reach up overhead, plant the feet to the floor, lift the hips. Lift the heels for a moment, sit up tall out of the waist. And then on your exhale, drop the heels as you send the hips back, the heart forward, bear pose. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna add on a little bit. Shift your weight into the toes, heels lift. Drop hips to the heels. Drop heels to the floor. Drop hips down, come all the way down, low boat, and we're gonna pause here this time. We're gonna add on a bit of heat. For modification, you can bring hands to the thighs, or you can lower the upper body to the floor and just move the legs. On your inhale, we're gonna come up through boat pose. Thighs in towards the rib cage, spine tall. Shins can be parallel to the mat, or for more of a challenge, you can even straighten them out. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, we're lowering back down to a hover. Inhale to come up boat, either legs bent or legs straight. Exhale, lower to a hover. 2 more times. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. Last one. Inhale, come up and hold. Arms reach up overhead. Sit up tall out of the waist. Keep pulling toes back towards the body. On your exhale, bend the knees, plant the feet. Lift the hips. Lift the heels from the floor. Arms reach up overhead. Ooh, I'm falling. Sit up tall out of the waist. And then on your exhale, we're gonna drop the heels down, straighten out the legs to come all the way to your forward fold. Upper body hangs heavy. On your next inhale, let's halfway lift. Lengthen out the spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. On your exhale, release. Plant the hands, step back, high plank. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Strong press of the floor away. Take a shift forward and back so that we're getting into the wrists, getting into the ankles. And then coming back through neutral, lift the right toes an inch above the floor. Right foot is flexed. Keep the wrists under the shoulders. Now just bring the right knee to tap the right elbow. Inhale, kick back, 3-legged plank. Keep wrists under shoulders. Exhale, right knee across the body to the left elbow. Inhale to kick back, 3-legged plank. On your exhale, right thigh into the rib cage, nose towards right knee. And then this time as you kick back, come all the way up, 3-legged down dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Think of pointing right knee up towards ceiling. Right heel squeezes in towards glutes, and then take some big circles with the right knee. Switch direction of the circles.
And then on your exhale, pull the right knee back into the chest, step the foot through between the hands. We're gonna pivot to the left, Skandasana, hips on top of right heel. Keep the hips low, right heel may or may not reach the floor. Fingertips can either be on the floor or you can bring palms to touch at the heart. Tall through the spine here. On your next inhale, warrior two to the back of the mat. So left knee bends, fingertips extend long. You're reaching long through the fingertips as if someone was playing tug-of-war on your hands here. On your inhale, reverse right hand down the back of the right thigh, left arm comes up and over. On your exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame out the left foot. Step back to a three-legged plank, left toes to just a hover above the mat. Wrists underneath the shoulders, we are on the second side. On your exhale, keeping wrists under shoulders, left knee comes forward to tap the left elbow. Keep the upper body totally stable. Inhale, kick, three-legged plank. Exhale, left knee across the body to the right elbow. Inhale to kick back, three-legged plank. Exhale, left knee to nose, tight squeeze in, maybe the knee even touches the forehead. Keep the wrists under the shoulders. And then kick all the way back, three-legged down dog. Bend the knee and open the hip. Squeezing left heel in towards glutes, left knee points up towards ceiling, and then circle out the left knee. Take some circles with the left knee. Switch direction of the circles. On your exhale, left knee pulls into the chest, step the foot through between the hands, pivot to the right, Skandasana, second side. So hips are on top of the left heel. The left heel may or may not be on the floor. Either is totally fine. Right toes are pointed up to the ceiling. Hands either to the floor or palms to touch at the heart. You are sitting up tall out of the waist. You likely are feeling this in the inner right thigh, your adductor muscles, and we're also opening up the hip. On your inhale, warrior two, back to the front of the mat. Right toes plant, left foot is parallel. Deep bend into the right knee so that it is stacked on top of the right heel. On your inhale, find a reverse left hand down the back of the left thigh. You're lifting up and out of the waist. On your exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame out the right foot, step back to a high plank, wrists under shoulders. On your exhale, lower halfway down. High plank, press back up. You can always modify by dropping knees to the floor. On your exhale here, bend into the knees, pull the heart back towards the tops of the thighs. Press the floor away from you as much as you can, so biceps up towards the ears. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. On your exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Keep the hands planted, keep the toes tucked. We're gonna reroot into the fingertips. Engage the glutes, press all the way up, high plank. One more time for that little mini sequence. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, bend into the knees. Pull the heart back towards the tops of the thighs, hips towards the heels. Shift forward, high plank. Either with the knees grounded or with the knees lifted, lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes. Bring the hands wider than the mat and tent out the fingertips. And then pressing into the fingers, inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders onto the back body. Glutes are strong here. Tops of the toes press into the floor. On your exhale, lower the heart back down. Swing the hands around so that they interlace at the low back above the glutes. Squeeze the legs together, so big toes to touch. And then as you're ready, everything lifts from the floor. So lifting the heels from the floor, pulling the heart forward, and if you can, see if you can lift the hands up and away from the glutes. If it is not possible for you to get the clasp of the hands here, you can release the hands and just do locust. Either is great. Big inhale, maybe lift a little higher. On your exhale, release back down. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Tuck onto the toes. We're gonna press up into a tabletop so knees are grounded. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And for a moment, couple breaths really, we're gonna move through a couple cycles of cat-cow. So inhale to open the collarbones, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Exhale around the spine. Take a couple on your own. Knowing that this is a great opportunity to warm up the spine, so that might mean even adding some other movement, circles with the shoulders, circles with the hips. Go with what feels good here. Next place we're gonna meet is in our down dog. So if there's anything you'd like on the way to a down dog, please feel free to take it. This practice is yours. I'm here just to give you options and suggestions and places that you could go, maybe some inspiration. Ultimately, this practice is yours. Next place we meet is in our down dog. Kicking heels down towards the floor, pulling heart back towards the thighs, drop the head. Come up onto the toes, bend into the knees. On your exhale, maybe you play with a hop, landing at the top of the mat, forward fold. In breath to halfway lift, lengthen, crown of the head reaches forward. Open the mouth for your exhale and let it go. Inhale to rise, come all the way through standing, palms touch. Lift up and out of the waist, little baby back bend here. On your exhale, dive all the way forward, Uttanasana. In breath to halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale to release, plant the hands, step or hop to the back of the mat. If you want to add on a crow or a handstand, you're always welcome to it. Maybe move through Vinyasa, which could mean lowering to the belly or lowering halfway down. Next place we meet is in our downward dog. That was round one of a sun salutation A. We're going to take 2 more, just like that. Feel free to add on or take out as you wish. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet, top of the mat, forward fold. Rebound, halfway lift and lengthen. Open the mouth for your exhale and let it go. Inhale to rise, come through standing, palms touch. Little back bend if it feels good, glutes are strong. Exhale, come all the way back down. In breath to halfway lift. It's totally fine, by the way, if you're not with my cues. Exhale, release, plant the hands, step or hop to the mat, back of the mat. Move with your breath. So it's okay if your breath is not exactly with my cues. You can slow it down, you can speed it up. We meet in a down dog for 1 more round of a sun A. Again, still building some heat here before we move into our sequence. Next exhale, step, walk, hop, float, play. Land at the top of the mat. Uttanasana. In breath to rebound, halfway lift. Exhale, release, let it go. Inhale, rise, come through standing, palms touch. Little back bend if you want it. Exhale, come all the way down. Uttanasana. In breath, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, release, plant the hands, step or hop or play. So if you wanted that crow pose, if you wanted an inversion, if you want to skip the vinyasa, give yourself what you need. We meet in our downward dog. One big breath here. We're going to move into our main sequence in a moment, but let it be from a starting place of connection with the inhale and the exhale. As you're ready for it, it is an exhale that carries your feet to the top of the mat. Find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise, come all the way through standing, palms touch overhead. And then exhale, hands to touch at heart center. All right, we are going to start by shifting our weight into the right foot. Left leg stays straight, but swing it out long in front of you. Left toes pull back. So toes are pulling back towards the body. Maybe you lift the foot even a little bit higher. This feels extra hard today for some reason. On your exhale, slow motion, bend into the right knee. We're coming all the way down to a seat, but take it really slow. See if your hips can reach the floor before the left heel reaches the floor. But maybe that's not possible, and that's totally fine. Not possible yet. Hands interlace around the right knee and pull the heart forward, tall through the spine. This might be where you hang out, or you might start to walk the upper body forward. You might even work towards a bind around the back of the right knee. This is a super compressing shape, so maybe you get the bind around the back of the right knee. Maybe that's not possible for you today. Either is totally fine. You can also have the interlace around the right knee with the hands as I started. What we're gonna do here is either with the hands or with the bind, you're gonna lift the right foot from the floor and move the right foot over to the left side of the left thigh. So again, you can either have the hands to interlace here and you're pulling the heart through, On your inhale, we're gonna come up through seated. Right foot is planted on the outside of the left thigh. Right fingertips behind you, left fingertips sweep up overhead. And on your exhale, we're twisting to the right, left elbow hooks to the outside of the right knee. Your gaze moves over the right shoulder. On your inhale, we're coming back through center. Twist to the left, left hand plants underneath left shoulder. We're gonna lift the hips. Coming all the way to Avashistasana, side plank on the left side, right fingertips sweep high. You can either keep the right toes planted to the floor or you can lift the right knee up towards right armpit. Maybe even play with straightening out the right leg. All are just options. Throwing you guys into the fire here, we have a big transition. Right foot is gonna step all the way to the left hand, so we're pivoting to the back of the mat as you shift to the ball of the left foot. Find your twist with the upper body. Heart opens up, right shoulder to stack on top of left. Root into the right foot. On your inhale, we're coming all the way to standing. Keep the twist to the right side of the room. Using the strength of the core, wrap the lungs around the heart. On your inhale, release the twist. Arms reach up overhead. High crescent lunge. Take an in-breath here. On your exhale, bend into the left knee until the knee taps the floor just barely. And then on your exhale, we're kicking off of the left foot, warrior three. Throwing you guys right into the fire today. Arms can reach forward or they can be back to airplane wings if that's better for the low back. Knit the rib cage up and in. On your next in-breath, we're gonna open up to our half moon, meaning that the right hand drops down to the floor or to a hover. Left fingertips open up, but the important thing here is that the left hip and the left shoulder are opening up to stack on top of the right. So it's like you could put your back against a flat wall behind you. Big inhale here. On your exhale, slow motion bend into the right knee. Take this really slow. We're coming all the way to a warrior two stance. We are now facing the back of the mat. Fingertips extend long in both directions. With your inhale, straighten out the right leg, find the reverse. Left hand down the back of the left thigh, right arm up and over. So reverse triangle. And then re-bend into the right knee as you cartwheel the hands, frame out the right foot, step back to a three-legged plank, right toes to a hover, an inch above the floor. On your exhale, right knee taps right elbow, keep the plank shape with the upper body. Inhale, kick back, three-legged plank. Exhale, right knee across the body, left elbow. Inhale, kick back, three-legged plank. Exhale, right knee to nose, tight squeeze in. Inhale, kick back, three-legged plank, right toes are flexed. Keep the right toes above the mat as you slow bend into the elbows, lower all the way to the floor. And then bend into the right knee. Reach the right hand around and hold onto the right ankle. Right heel squeezes in towards the glutes. Left arm extends forward, palm faces down. You are welcome to hang out right here. Or if you would like, you could flex into the right toes. You could kick into the right hand, and you could lift everything up off the mat for a half bow pose. Heart pulls through. And then your exhale, release back down. Hands plant under the shoulders. Curl onto the toes. We meet in our down dog, so however you would like to get there. You can press up through high plank. You could take a child's pose, a tabletop. Full cycle of breath in our downward dog. Big inhale, big exhale. We get to do this same funky, challenging sequence on the other side, and then we'll start to take things down. On your exhale, step, walk, hop, float. Eventually land at the top of the mat, forward fold. In breath to halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale to release and let it go. Inhale to rise, come all the way through standing, palms touch overhead. And then exhale, hands meet at heart center. That was a really fun one. We're gonna do it again. Shift your weight into the left foot. Right leg extends long. Right toes pull back. Lift the foot even a little bit higher. Big inhales, big exhales. And then on your next exhale, I'm really unsteady today. We're gonna bend into the left knee slowly. Take this as slow as you can. If you need to use the hands, you absolutely can. Eventually, we're gonna land with the hips all the way to the floor, the right leg extended long. Lift up tall out of the waist. Start by interlacing hands around the left knee and just pulling the heart forward, the spine really tall. This is a good compression into the left hip. Take an inhale. On your exhale, we're going to start to walk the upper body forward. If you feel ready for it, you can also stay tall, keep the hands interlaced around the left knee. You can stay here, or you can work towards bind, interlacing hands around the back of the left thigh. So I've given lots of options here, which means that where we're going next is kind of up to you and where you are at. But what we're working towards is lifting the left foot off of the mat and moving left foot over to the right side of the right thigh. You can either stay folded forward with the upper body, or again, hands could be to interlace around the left knee and you could be sitting really tall here. Last breath. If you are folded forward, let's come back up through seated. We're going to plant the left fingertips behind the back, right fingertips reach up overhead, lift up and out of the waist. And then on your exhale, twist to the left, right elbow hooks to the outside of the left knee, and we're twisting the upper body to the left. So gaze comes up over the left shoulder. On your inhale, release back through center. Twist the upper body to the right to plant the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Come to the outside edge of the right foot, and then let's lift the hips. Left fingertips sweep up high. So we've landed back in our side plank on the right side this time. Left toes can stay planted, or you can lift the left knee up to the left shoulder. You could even work towards straightening out the left leg. All are just options. Take a big in-breath. On your exhale, big step or several little ones. Left foot steps up to the right hand as you shift to the ball of the right toes. Right foot. Spin the hand up towards sky, left hand up towards sky, so you're twisting the heart. Left shoulder to stack on top of the right, and then ground into the left foot. And on your inhale, we're going to come all the way up through standing. Keep the twist to the left side of the room. Using strength of the core here to twist even a little deeper. Wrap the lungs around the heart. On your exhale, we're going to come through center, high crescent lunge. Guys, I almost forgot where we were going for a second. High crescent lunge, shoulders to stack on top of the hips. Tuck the tailbone down. Take an in-breath here, and then with your exhale, we're going to bend into the right knee, tapping the right knee to the floor. Kick off of the right toes to come all the way forward, warrior three. Right leg kicks back, fingertips extend forward. Big in-breath here. We're here just for a moment. And then as you're ready, open up, half moon, left hand down, right fingertips reach towards sky. Again, the important thing here is that right hip and right shoulder are opened up to stack on top of the left. Ardha Chandrasana is the Sanskrit name for this shape. All right, it's a slow motion bend with the left knee until the right foot plants parallel to the back edge of the mat. Come up into your warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. Shoulders soften down the back, but you're pulling the fingertips long in both directions. Straighten out through the left leg as you find the reverse. Right hand down the back of the right thigh. Left arm comes up and over. And then rebend into the left knee as you cartwheel the hands. Frame out the left foot. Kick back to your three-legged plank. Left toes an inch above the floor. Press floor away from you. You're strong through the back body. Take an in-breath. On your exhale, left knee taps left elbow. Inhale, kick back, three-legged plank. Exhale, forward, left knee taps right elbow. Inhale to kick back. Last one, left knee to nose. Tight squeeze in here, press the floor away. And then kick back to your three-legged plank. Keep the left foot lifted. Maybe lift it as high as you can here so you're strong into the left glutes. And then slow motion bend into the elbows, coming all the way down to the belly. Untuck the right toes, bend into the left knee. Left hand reaches around for the left foot. Pulling left heel in towards the glutes. Tucking tailbone down towards the floor. Reach the right hand forward, palm faces down. Tuck the tailbone down. You're more than welcome to hang out right here. Or, if you want to build a little bit more heat in the back body, you could kick into the left hand. You could lift the right toes and lift the right hand from the mat, coming up into a half bow. Strong down the entire back side of the body. Lift the right toes even a little more. Kick even more into the left hand. And then on your exhale, release back down. Plant the hands under the shoulders, but bend into both knees. And then just windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Knowing that we're going to start to cool it down, and we're going to take it down pretty quickly here. Come back through center, keep the knees grounded, plant into the hands, come all the way back to a child's pose. Heart between the thighs, forehead rests on the floor. Soften the jaw. Big inhales, big exhales. And then inhale to walk the hands back towards body. Come up into a seat. We're going to stay on the shins for a moment. Just walk the knees together. Interlace all 10 fingers, and we will roll out the wrists. Switch direction of the circles. Then find your way through center. Cross over the ankles and come all the way into a seat. Legs extended out long in front of you. Arms reach up overhead, big in breath. On your exhale, we'll fold forward. Hands can drop to the feet, to the floor, to the legs, wherever it is that they land. Take a big inhale. Exhale, drop the head, pull the chin in towards the chest. Soften the jaw. Let it feel good. Let the body know that we are cooling down, making our way towards stillness, and knowing that especially in a heated practice with lots of quick movement, it is equally important that we give ourselves time and space to settle into the quiet as well. With your inhale, come up through center, arms reach up overhead. On your exhale, slow motion, we're lowering all the way down to the back body. Use the strength of your core, coming all the way down. Pull just the right knee into the chest, squeezing right thigh towards outer right rib cage. And then drop the right arm out to a T, and on your exhale, find your supine twist. So guiding the right knee over the left side of the body. Right shoulder is still touching the floor. Maybe you drop the gaze over to the right fingertips. Inhale to come back through center, and then we will swap it out. Left knee comes in, right leg extends long. Left thigh squeezes in towards left rib cage. Drop the left arm, cactus or T, take a big in-breath. On your exhale, find the twist. Left knee over right side of the body. Maybe you drop the gaze over to the left hand. Inhale to come back through center. Left leg extends long, land all the way into Shavasana. And if you are even considering canceling the class now, I invite you to stay. Shavasana is an incredibly important part of the practice, so it's just a couple minutes right here. It's easy to think in Shavasana that we're, quote unquote, not doing anything. But honestly, that is the entire point of it. We live in a time where we are constantly filling out to-do lists and checklists and are actually doing 5 things at once most of the time. And the point right here in Shavasana is to pull ourselves out of that narrative and notice how it feels just to be right here. And then notice how it feels to go back out into the day, the evening, the week, the weekend, to go back into the checklist and to see how much more productive and present you really are in the things that you're doing. Last moments in silence. Notice if the mind has wandered and see if you can reconnect to the inhale and to the exhale. And then without opening the eyes, deepen the breath. Deepen the breath and wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes, inviting some movement into body. Reaching arms up overhead to find a full body stretch. Kicking through the heels, reaching through the fingers. And then pulling knees into the chest. Little rock side to side. Small circles on the low back. And we're taking our time to work back up into a comfortable seat. So however you choose to get there, you might roll onto a side or kind of rock up and down the spine. However you land in a comfortable seat, keep the eyes closed. Eyes closed so that we're keeping the gaze inward for these last moments. Keeping in this sense of sovereignty as we also get to go back out and connect with others. Hands can either meet at the heart or they can stay resting wherever they are resting. And as always, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for practicing with me, for giving me the space to do what I love. Namaste. Thank you so much. See you next time.